I think, well, I'll say what I hope to teach them is to be confident just in the way that they're made to move, you know, the way that they're designed. I think the common fruit of the program is confidence. You know, a lot of parents tell me how closed off their child is initially, and then after seeing them in the program for a while, they open up and they're free to express. I like teaching self-respect. I like teaching art as a tool to war through frustration and war through discouragement and things like that, teaching them how to use dance versus just dancing and being rhythmic. Not every child is going to do that, but even for the children who maybe aren't the strongest dancers, they still feel comfortable in an environment with strong dancers because they're encouraged to be the best they can be. Something as simple as you can see 3-year-olds getting involved in tap, 2- and 3-year-olds. So some of it is the parents being made aware that this kind of program is available. And then I think you're seeing a ton of kids of color tapping. You know, I personally didn't grow up seeing that. And so if I knew something like that existed, it would definitely make me want to be involved. And then the level of skill that they have, you know, in their tap, even if they're, I have 8-year-olds who try to show me stuff all the time, and they're just like, you can't do that, you can't do that, and it's like, hey, you know, they get good learning, you know, in tap, and I think it's a tool to expose them to all kinds of history and dance and people who contributed to the craft and musicals where tap was involved and, you know, things like that. So I think they're drawn to a combination of skill level and then seeing kids look like them doing this. It makes me want to cry. It makes me scream to the top of my lungs because it's, I think my biggest thing is when I was younger, I was not confident in the things that I'm confident in now. I wasn't as confident in dance. I wasn't as confident in, you know, liking school and things like that. And so I'm wanting to encourage kids now that whatever their interests are, make them cool. You know, make them cool. It's okay to be into science and rock and roll and this and that and express that through dance. So I love the boldness. I love when I can tell they have let go and they've gotten completely free. And even if it's not the best dance, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it's not the best dance move, they're having a moment where you can't tell them anything. You know, they're free as they want to be. And so I love, it's liberating. And I think in them being liberated, they liberate everyone else watching them. That's my feeling. Dancing is simply a tool to teach them things. You know, how do I maximize having these young lives for an hour a week, you know? And one example is my younger kids tend to look at themselves in the mirror. So I push, pay attention to your team. You know, the piece only looks as good as the unit. So teaching them to watch the group versus yourself. You definitely want to make sure you have it right, but how does that look across the board? You know, another thing is when I see them discouraged or frustrated and not picking it up fast enough, or they find it complicated. If you quit on yourself now, you'll quit on yourself later. And I can't take that being in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that. So my thing is, how can I encourage you to feel and be okay and have some grace with yourself in learning processes? Because you're going to come against other areas in life that you don't catch on to as fast. What do you do? You know, what do you do? If I have you for an hour a week, how can I help you when I don't have you? You know, how can I help you when I don't have you? And so there's a ton of life lessons in there. Trying to be perfect, trying to do everything perfect, expecting to get things right away, expecting to get things fast. You know, that's not the real world. It's not realistic. You're not always going to be a whiz right away, you know? And so that is probably the most consistent thing, along with, if you catch people staring, stare back. Yeah. You know, they came to see you, stare back. So don't shrink, you know, in different environments. You know, you're there for a reason, and you got there doing exactly what you do now, you know. So hold your head up in environments that are unfamiliar to you and learn everything you can.